Hello everybody, here Rene from Spain. I'm gonna make this video showing my Megadeth collection. In the background you can hear the band Ed Lane. Actually you can hear this album. But this is not about Ed Lane, of course. This is about Megadeth. And this video I make it for a YouTube person, and his name is Crystal Logic. Of course, Crystal Logic is the Manila Road. Did he ask for a Manila Road video? No, I don't think so. I already made a Manila Road video in the past. This is about my Megadeth collection. There's a lot to show. I will show you. All this stuff is to show. It's all in chronologic order. There's a lot to show. Okay, I'm going quite fast. Megadeth, the debut album. This came out on Music for Nation. See? From 1985. Let's move on. Let's put this here. And then I can... Okay. I also bought the re-release that comes with the demo and some bonus tracks. This is the Final Kill. This came out actually this year. Even if you have the original album, you should also check this, because it sounds so much better. It sounds like an all different album, in my opinion. Then they were on this compilation with the song Rattlehead, the very best in speed metal. Also Metallica is on here. And Slayer, Bulldozer, Exodus, Venom. Of course a must-have album compilation. Then they released maybe my favorite album. First I'll show you my original vinyl copy. This is actually a Spanish edition on Amy. Also I think in America it came out on Combat. See, this is the Fama. Also some Iron Maiden and Scorpion stuff came out under this type of thing, Fama. This is of course a killer album. I don't have to talk a lot about these records. I mean, the all killer releases. Here, this is my wife's CD. This comes with some bonus tracks. You know, this is one of these re-releases. Okay, then they were... Oh yes, so this also I want to show. I also have this. I bought like in the late 80s. I got it for my birthday, I think. I think my sister gave it, or my mother. They saw it in the shop and they bought it. Maybe 89, 1990. There's no date on it, but I remember it's many years ago. I was still a kid back then. Not kid, but like maybe 14. Okay, then they were on this in 87. This is 87. Sorry, yes, I think it's 87. Yes, in 87 they were on this soundtrack of this movie. These Boots Are Made for Walking, performed by Megadeth, produced by Paul Laney. Of course Kill is on here too. See, I always like this soundtrack. And they did not much more in 87. In 88 they released their third album, So Far So Good So What. And they became more famous because In My Darkest Hour was quite a popular song back then. Okay. Also they released this Mary Jane maxi single. It comes with 3 songs. They were also the same year on this compilation, the Metal Killers. I think the third. And this is also Boots Was Made for Walking was on here. You know, a lot of other bands like Blue Oyster Cult, Uriah Heep, Halloween, Motorhead, Raven. Also in 88 they were on this movie, The Decline of Western Civilization Part 2. You know, and here we also have Alice Cooper on here, Fest the Pussycat, Amor Saint, Lizzie Borden, and of course Megadeth is on here too, with In My Darkest Hour. They're really pushing that song back then. And in 89 they were on this Shocker soundtrack. They've been on quite a few soundtracks, Megadeth. No More Mr. Nice Guy, the music, shocker. They made a video clip also of that song. And also it came out like a single. The No More Mr. Nice Guy, with Different Breed, performed by Dead On, and Demon Bell, performed by Dangerous Toys. This is from the from the Shocker soundtrack. See? This came out also in 1989. Then they released Rust in Peace. See? Of course, the ultimate classic. This is on Amy. Anyway, also Rust in Peace. This is my wife's CD. Got some bonus tracks. Also, they released this 7-inch single, Holy Wars. Of course, a song from that album. You see, kind of a poster comes out of it. I will put it back. They were on another soundtrack, also quite a popular movie back then in '91, because this came out in '91. With they had a song that was not on any records. Go to Hell was on here. Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. This was the second part of this Bill and Ted's. Also the first Bill and Ted was very good soundtrack. But here we have Slaughter on it, Ringer, Kiss with God Gave Rock and Roll to You. They also made a video clip of that song. Megadeth, of course, Steve Vai, Fate No More. This is a great soundtrack from 1991. Okay, then they released Countdown to Extinction. I remember I bought this in England when this was released, 92. Amazing album in my opinion. I never got bored listening to this record. And they released this nice Symphony of Destruction. See, it's very nicely made. I remember my mother bought this in Valencia, you know, at the Corte Inglés in Valencia. The pyramid. It was a pyramid, and that was like a part of the Corte Inglés. And then there was movies in there. They were selling movies and music, CDs, DVDs, no, VHS, LPs, tapes. Okay, here we have another version of this same maxi single, Symphony of Destruction. Then we have another maxi single, Foreclosure of a Dream, also from the Countdown to Extinction album. Okay. Then they were on our other soundtrack, a very popular, because AC/DC was on here too, Last Action Hero. Also a good movie. A lot of people don't like this movie, but I always like this movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And here we have Tesla on it, Aerosmith is on it, Alice in Chains, Anthrax, Def Leppard, Queen's Rise, Megadeth, AC/DC with the song Big Gun. They made a video clip for that song. And Angry Again. Megadeth was with Angry Again. Another soundtrack came out, also in '93. This is the Beavis and Butthead experience in America. Of course, I mean, we always saw the episodes before Headbangers Ball, at least in Europe. They always showed Beavis and Butthead first, you know, episodes of Beavis and Butthead. And this is the movie. It came out in '93. And we have Anthrax on here, we have Megadeth on here, with the song 99 Ways to Die. I think it was only released on this one back then. Aerosmith is on here too. You know, Jekyll, you know, is on here too. Anyway, not a bad soundtrack. Then they released this Euthanasia album in '94. This is a re-release, but I remember buying this, also again in England I think it was, and I didn't like it so much. That's why I traded for something else with a friend of mine, and then years later I bought it again. And now I like it more than back in '94. And this is a maxi single that I bought then, Train of Consequence. See, it's a maxi single with Euthanasia song. Then Hidden Treasures came out in 95. You see, here we have songs that were on these soundtracks, like 99 Ways to Die, or Go to Hell is on here. No More Mr. Nice Guy, you know, all the songs like B-sides and from soundtracks. This is actually my wife's CD. Here we have another my wife's CD, Megadeth Cryptic Writing. See, 97. Then this one I remember I bought it in Budapest in Hungary, and this is from 1999. I didn't like it very much when it came out. Nowadays, to be honest, I find some good songs on it, but back then I didn't like it. Back in 1999. This is again from my wife. This is a compilation that came out in the year 2000. Okay, this is Capital Punishment. After they released The World Needs a Hero in 2001. See, with Dave Ellefson was still in the band, because he left later for a while. Here we have Rude Awakening. This is also my wife's CD, live album from 2002. Also a DVD came out in 2002. Then another record was released, and this was let me see. Yeah, anyway, it's not important right now. It's more about showing what I own by the band. If not, the video will be too long. This is The System Has Failed from 2004. And then they released this DVD with a lot of stuff, a lot of video clips is on here. And also the Gigant Tour they did, you know, this tour organized by Megadeth in 2005. The Clash of the Titans Tour 1990. Stuff from the Countdown to Extinction era, Euthanasia era. And this came out in 2006. Also, in 1 year later, in 2007, this album came out, United Abominations. I like it more now than when it was released, like 11 years ago. Time flies. This album, I always liked it, from 2009. You know, you went back to the roots in many ways. I love this album. Then they did this thing with Metallica, you know, the Big Four with Slayer and Anthrax. This came out in 2011, live at Sofia in Bulgaria. Then 13 came out, again an album I like very much. It has some very strong songs on it. Endgame is better, but this one is, I also like this one very much. You know, I think it's also a strong record. This one actually a weak album from 2013. I never really got into this album, Super Collider. Then the same year they released in 2013 Countdown to Extinction Live. They were performing all the records, plus some extra songs are on it too. Then they released first in 2015 this maxi single with 2 songs. And these two songs were going to be on the album Dystopia. And talking about Dystopia, oh, the cat is behind me. Okay, talking about Dystopia, here is this, the Dystopia album from 2016. One of the best albums they made in the last 25 years. This is my, maybe after Countdown to Extinction, after that, this is my favorite. All the rest in the middle are okay, some are okay, but this one is much better. And I also bought that one on vinyl, Dystopia on vinyl. I love the artwork too. Okay, Crystal Logic, I hope so you like this video. I don't know if you're a girl or a boy, I don't know. I hope so you like the video. And yeah, stay metal everybody. This was my Megadeth collection. Okay, take care.